never been anything like this virus in our lifetime. Often, it's hard to see the effects it's having on our children. Has this conversation taken place in your home?
Mom, I'm scared about going back to school. I don't want to get sick, and I don't want to get you and Dad sick.
Our scientists tell us there are 3 things we must do to stay safe. Wear masks, make sure we social distance, and wash our hands. And now, your school, with the help of Microsoft Corporation, has created another. Introducing Daily Pass, your exclusive ticket for safely going back to school. Each week, you can schedule your free on-campus COVID test. The results are displayed in your Daily Pass. And if you choose to take your test off campus, you can post the results in your Daily Pass. And the moment vaccinations are available, you'll simply be able to schedule yours through your Daily Pass. But the real magic is your daily health check. Just answer a few simple health questions every day, and like magic, your entrance ticket appears.
Welcome back.
Welcome to school.
So, how did it go?
Dad, I have to admit, I was scared at first, but then I felt so safe. It was so good to be back. Thanks for keeping me safe. I love you so much.
What's up, YouTubers? This is an interesting tweet by Matt Smith. You just saw the video. It says, some days, this is Matt Smith, some days I think 1984 is a future, others like today looks more like the brave new world will be the theme of our dystopian future. What's funny about all this is, if you saw the video clip, Microsoft has come up with this app, or probably the software and the app, all of it. It's being funded in the latest $1.9 trillion bill that the United States is doing. And if you saw my previous video on succession, if you read that article, you'll see something like 80-90% of all Americans support this almost $2 trillion bill. Both Republicans and Democrats. They all want to jump in and get a free ride. Anyways, it's funny because this is really dystopian. This reminds me of China, where they put an app on your phone. They're going to follow your kids everywhere they go in school and probably record them without their knowledge, probably videotape them in some cases without their knowledge through this phone app. But basically, they can follow them 24/7, whether they're in school or not. It's kind of funny that Americans, they don't seem to care about stuff like this anymore. Hold on a second. Anyways, I just found that fascinating. But in this $1.9 trillion bailout bill, if you look through it, most of it's going to blue states, and most of it's going to bail out local governments like city governments and state governments. And then another big chunk is going to bail out Native American governments. I say Native American because the tribes are basically bankrupt and they need a big bailout. Cities like Phoenix, which is considered purple now, not red or blue, but they need a bailout. Then on top of that, I presume because Biden's in power and the Democrats are in power, a lot of union pensions are going to be bailed out. Hopefully mine is. I have an old union pension that's basically on the ropes, and maybe I'll get bailed out too, I don't know. But whatever I do get out of that pension ain't very much to begin with. The funny thing is, the stock market's at all-time highs, and yet pensions all over, well, pensions in the United States need to be bailed out, but pensions in many, many countries are really underfunded, but especially in the United States. This bailout bill is $1.9 trillion. The previous ones, I think, were $3 or $4 trillion. I mean, if you add them all up, it's almost like $5 trillion. if you understand, like World War II was under 300 billion, depending on who you listen to. If you adjust that for inflation, that's less than what we're spending on all these bailouts. Like the 1.9 trillion, and then the Democrats and Republicans are saying we're going to have another $2 trillion bailout. And then if you add in previously that, the Trump COVID bailouts, those are $1 trillion. Like we're spending more money on COVID than we spent on World War II bombing countries. It's just really fascinating. The other thing that's fascinating is Americans just are very supportive of all this. It's just fascinating. No one seems to care. There will come a day when we will get more price inflation. There will come a day when the empire ends. There will just come a day when this all ends in tears. It's just fascinating how no one wants to recognize what's going on and how dangerous this really is. Sometimes people ask me, why did I leave the States, or why do I spend so much time out of the States? Part of the reason is all this nonsense. You as a taxpayer are going to be funding it through rising prices and then rising taxes. But here's the thing. If you want to know what the elites think of you, us average people, they think we're feudal serfs. They're throwing it in our faces. What's funny is most Americans support this despite the fact that the elites are throwing this right in our faces. They're giving almost all this bailout to millionaires and billionaires, special interest groups. This money is just going to be frittered away. Already we've seen from the PPP program all these fraud cases where people are just defrauding the government. From large corporations to small businesses, it's astonishing. Billions and billions are just being defrauded out of the government. And yet, people still want this. And yet, the elites are coming up with more and more rules, more and more regulations to throw it in our face. They really despise us. It's amazing. It's really, really amazing. They despise us, but average people don't see it. Very few people see how much the elites despise us, average people. It's just quite astonishing. Really amazing to me. Anyways, I'm going to upload this video. Like, share, leave a comment. I don't know what to say about all this. It's just funny and sad at the same time. And if you look at the big picture, in 100 years, this won't even matter. And there'll just be problems in 100 years. It'll be just as bad probably, but we'll get through this. I don't know how we'll get through this, but it's just astonishing and funny at the same time that people seem to support this and they won't do anything to lift a finger to stop it. Anyways, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Have a good evening wherever you're at in the world. Thank you.